Was the night of December 30th. Dark clouds were gathering in the sky, as if a massive storm was about to break loose. Lightning flashed again and again. Far from the city lights, a taxi stopped in front of Nilgiri apartment. It was 10:30 p.m. when Arushi stepped out with her luggage. Just looking at the old building made her uneasy. The walls were damp and the air felt heavy, almost suffocating. As she walked toward the gate, she noticed an old watchman sitting there, Ramu. Kaka, his eyes were completely white and lifeless. It felt as if he could see, yet there was no spark of life in his gaze. Hesitantly, Arushi said, "Namaste, Kaka, I'm Arushi, the new owner of flat 1312. Slowly, Remu Kaka lifted his head. A chilling smile spread across his face, one that could make anyone shiver. Handing her a bunch of keys, he said, "So you've arrived, child? We were all waiting for you. Take the keys. But be careful. Tonight is very heavy." Somehow, Arushi reached the 13th floor. The corridor lights flickered on and off. With trembling hands, she unlocked the door of flat 1312. Inside, everything was covered in white sheets. A thought crossed her mind. How did I get such a big apartment in the middle of the city for such a low price? She brushed it off, opened a bottle of wine, and sat on the sofa. Taking out her grandfather's photo, she smiled. "Are you watching, Grandpa? I finally bought my own home." But her happiness didn't last long. Suara saat ini tidak mendukung bahasa balasan. The silence was shattered by the ringing of a landline phone. Arushi froze. She hadn't even installed the phone. Nervously, she picked up the receiver. On the other end, she could hear heavy breathing. "Hello, who is this?" she asked. A slow, terrifying voice replied, "Leave the door open, Arushi. Tonight is December 31st. We're all coming." Her heart skipped a beat. "Who are you?" she asked again. Before she could finish, loud, horrifying laughter echoed through the receiver and the line went dead. At first, she thought it was a prank. But then panic set in. No one in the city even knew her, and no one had this landline number. She slammed the phone down. Suddenly, her mobile buzzed. Alert, main door unlocked. She ran toward the hall. The main door was slowly opening on its own. The corridor outside was pitch dark. "Who's there? Stop this nonsense." She slammed the door shut and locked it, breathing heavily. Suddenly, something banged violently against the door, as if trying to break it down. "Kaka, Ramu Kaka, is that you?" A moment later, an old agreement paper slid in from under the door. Written on it in blood were the words, "Welcome home, Arushi." Terrified, she ran to the balcony. "I have to get out of here. This place isn't right." She pressed the lift button. The lift arrived. She stepped in and pressed ground floor. The lift descended. The lights flickered. The doors opened. Arushi stepped out and froze in horror. It wasn't the ground floor. She was standing inside her own flat 1312.
Exhausted, she collapsed against the wall. Suddenly, a whisper brushed past her ear. "Arushi, look here. Come to us." She watched as the paint on the walls began to peel away. Behind it, human hair and bones started to appear. Handprints emerged on the walls, as if people trapped inside were desperately trying to break free. Her eyes fell on an old, dusty diary beneath the sofa. She opened it. On the first page was a photo of her grandfather builder. The diary read, December 31st, 1980. Today, the foundation of Nilgiri apartment will be completed. The tantric has said that unless my family's blood nourishes this building, it will not stand. I have already given 10 sacrifices. Grandpa, why did you do this? She whispered. The broken wall clock suddenly started ticking again. 11:45 p.m. Objects across the apartment began to shake. Whispers echoed from the walls. Our revenge. Arushi, Your blood. Desperate, Arushi picked up the intercom and called the watchman. Kaka, please save me. The walls are talking. Ramu Kaka's voice came through cold and emotionless. Don't be afraid, child. I'm coming. Minutes later, Ramu Kaka arrived. Arushi hid behind him, crying. Please, Kaka, I beg you, take me away from here. He let out a deep sigh and said heavily, Child, tonight, no one can leave this place. He then revealed the dark secret buried within Nilgiri apartment. In 1980, Mr. Kanna, a famous builder, invested everything into this project. But every night, the pillars collapsed mysteriously. Engineers failed. Science failed. Desperate, Kanna turned to a tantric. The tantric demanded 11 sacrifices, 10 nameless laborers, and 1 from Kanna's own bloodline. Kanna sacrificed 10 workers. The building stood. But when the time came for the 11th sacrifice, he lost his courage. That night, he died mysteriously at the site. The ritual remained incomplete. Since then, the walls of Nilgiri apartment have waited for the final sacrifice. Arushi looked into Ramu Kaka's eyes. They were no longer helpless, they were cruel. Why are you telling me all this? She asked. Ramu Kaka smiled again, twisting his neck unnaturally. A hunter lays traps not to free the bird, but to cage it. For 45 years, I've waited here for Kanna's blood to return. Realization struck her. I'm the 11th sacrifice. Yes, he said. I was one of the workers buried in these walls. The clock stopped ticking. 11:59 p.m. The lights went out. Spirits dragged Arushi into the walls. The clock struck 12 o'clock. Silence. Years later, I returned to my village and found it abandoned. At Yada's house, a woman named Seema was eating raw food, her eyes replaced by dark voids. A tantric revealed the spirit was Rama, a woman who died on the same hospital bed Seema later occupied. Rama's soul hadn't moved on. After rituals and her mother's plea, Rama finally left. Peace returned. But even today, I wonder, did Rama really leave? Or is she still waiting for the next guest? What do you think? Comment below.